Behind me, I have a 2018 Audi RS5. This car has 444 horsepower out of a 2.9 liter turbocharged V6. It weighs around 3,900 pounds, and in this color, it doesn't get better. We have 20-inch wheels with 6-piston front calipers and 4-piston rear calipers. Now moving inside, this car features a black interior with red accent stitching, which I absolutely love. You have Alcantara door pockets with carbon fiber trim, and one of my favorite options on this car is the front massaging seats. Both front seats are massaging because it's not fair when you're driving around and only you are getting a massage, you know? Moving back here, we have a beautiful carbon fiber spoiler, black badges. Those have been done in the aftermarket, but I love the accents. Looking into the trunk, it's pretty sizable. Could fit about 10 duffel bags. So that's plenty to get you through any sort of situation. The oval tips are iconic RS5. You can see within there is a muffler bypass for whenever you're in a dynamic mode. The butterfly valve opens up and this car comes alive. Looking back here with the taillights, all the headlights and taillights on this car are full LED, which really brings out the modern twist of the RS5. So most cars have the third brake light right here, and it's about 6 inches. This car, however, check this out. Do you see that? Full length along the top of the windshield. One of the many features that this car offers is the black optics package, which comes with black accents to replace chrome bits. So that comes with this strip on top of the rear windshield. We have the trim around the windows. We have the flared bits, along with this black piece along the side skirt. Now looking further inside this vehicle on the dashboard right here, I love how the vents continue on throughout the dashboard after the driver's display. Looking more into the interior, we have an updated MMI control wheel and shifter. Now a major gripe I have with this car is the volume control, and this is because we've come into a few scenarios just in the day or so having this car where this placement is just poor placement. Let's say you have your legs, leaning this way. You can skip tracks, you can turn the radio off. It just gets annoying. Also, it's not very clear to passengers how they, move the volume. Moving all the way around, doing a 360, we have another quirk, which is the washer bottle fluid is all the way over here. So if you own an RS5 and you're wondering how to change your washer fluid, you'll probably never find out. So that was just some of the features and details of the 2018 Audi RS5. Now it's the best time to drive it. Let's go. Now behind the wheel of the 2018 Audi RS5, and wow, that's the majority of the vocabulary that I have while in this car.
Yeah.
Just because it's so two-faced. Because at one point it's a complete GT, you don't even know that it has 450 horsepower plus, and you're just driving around, no one really knows what you're driving, and it's a killer commuter while still being a back road carver.
I would say it's kind of the luxury version of the sports car, like that definition. There's only a few cars that fit that definition of an actual sports car that also can be luxury and daily driven and comfortable.
I agree. Cars like the M3 and the C63, yeah, they're dumb fast, but at the same time, you know, you can't drive them in winter, you can't drive them really in inclement weather without being worried, you know, because you're pushing so much horsepower to, you know, only 2 wheels instead of all 4.
Yeah.
You know,
this road's pretty uneven.
It's still very, very compliant, because in other cars on this road, you know, you're bouncing around even more, honestly. Some things about the RS5 that we don't like. No car is perfect. Definitely the exhaust. We're usually riding in an E-Class. It's dead quiet. You never hear it.
Right.
And so even coming from that to this, you know, anything is louder. But this car, it has a lot of throat. It's got a lot of bass to it. But it just doesn't have the volume, you know? Definitely sounds good though.
It sounds good. I would say if you're having it for a daily, you don't want that really loud exhaust like to be annoying you. So
exactly.
In comfort mode, you can barely hear the exhaust at all.
And that's thanks to the valves on the exhaust.
Since it is sort of the daily driver, I mean, you can complain about it's not loud enough like on the daily basis, but hey, I mean, if you're going to be driving it, you know, to work or like your daily commute. It's fine. It's perfect. You put it in sport, it even gets loud, and it's not bad.
So we got a list of points pulled up. Derek, what's some of the cons that you put down?
So in terms of driving the vehicle, the suspension,
it's pretty incredible how fast and just how much it changes between, you know, bouncy, very sporty feeling to it irons out the bumps and it's not beating you up.
That's right, because when you take it from comfort mode to the dynamic sport mode, it is a complete difference. Like
you can see how we're bouncing around right now, and if we put it in, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in comfort right now, and you'll see.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we're just
now
cruising now. You can't even hear the car, and it's got these seats. Let's talk about these seats real quick.
The seats are a huge point.
Huge. So they're leather, diamond quilted. The stitching is absolutely beautiful.
You have massaging.
Massaging. The bolsters are completely customizable. They're some of the most comfortable seats I've sat in.
That's for sure. That's what I'm saying. I love how the bolsters, like, I'm a pretty skinny person. I mean, same with you. Like, we're not like huge people, and the bolsters still come in enough to squeeze you. Like, I can't move in the seat. And you can adjust that however you want, which is awesome.
Going off that point, they're a great balance of comfort and sportiness.
We might as well talk about the interior as well.
Absolutely.
The interior of the vehicle is very luxury.
It's modern. It's contemporary.
It's usable.
It's
very usable.
You can get comfortable in it pretty much instantaneously, especially with this digital driver's display. I believe Audi calls it the virtual cockpit.
Yes.
I mean, that map, you cannot beat that with Google Maps. You have the satellite view, so you can see like what's around you, and it tells you the road you're on, it tells you the traffic, so it's constantly updating using Google Maps. You can see all types of things like your trip in full screen, which is so nice. It's completely underrated. You know, a lot of car makers, they only have a 3-inch screen between the 2 gauges, and in 2019, that's just not enough. And the fact that you have Apple CarPlay, beautiful. I think my one gripe with this screen, at least, is that it's not touchscreen.
This screen is not touchscreen. Actually, there's not any screens in here that are touchscreen.
There are no touchscreens. However, just like in BMW, where you run your finger over the buttons and it shows you your options, this car does the same thing with the climate control and as well with the radio buttons.
Yep.
Which is very cool. I love that.
In talking about buttons, everything is very high quality. There's no movement in the dials or the buttons at all.
Yep.
Everything is very solid.
And everything has a very satisfying click. Like, if you listen to this,
yes,
you know, it clicks, it's satisfying, it's got good travel, good noise. and I mean, and the steering wheel with the perforated leather, I really like it. Reminds me of sort of the R8, RS7, which I really like.
Now there are different trim levels in terms of the stitching and all that kind of stuff, and that's all an option. I mean, that's the same with the brakes, the wheels, the color, and the interior of the.
Should we talk about colors real quick?
So the 2018 model RS5 was the last year with this Nardo Gray.
Exactly. Right? So the Nardo Gray, you know, it's changed over the years. It was a groundbreaking color when it came out. Everyone's been copying it. However, after the 2018 year, they changed it a little bit. How the owner put it, a more battleship gray. All right, guys. So right now, Derek's hopping behind the wheel of the RS5, and he'll get to rip it a little bit.
Okay, so off the bat, I have some things. The A-pillar here gets in the way a little bit when you're turning sharp. I did notice that just now, and I'm sitting in normal driving position. So they do come out a little further, I guess because it is a coupe design.
Coupe-like styling. So this is my second time ever sitting shotgun in this car. The first time I had just jumped in and then we ran down the drag strip. So it's nice to feel like what the suspension is like and whatnot from the passenger seat.
You can see the dash perfectly. I do really like that. It's very clear. It's smooth, you know. As soon as you press on the gas, it's not like it immediately will jump. I guess you can adjust the throttle mapping. If you press on the gas, it has a little bit of free play before it actually gets on it.
What I noticed is now with all these forced induction engines, they can tune in the turbo lag. So for instance, when you're just cruising around, it won't just hit you like a train. Yeah. Which I really like. And whenever you want the instant boost, it's there.
Oh, steering weight, I can feel it right now. It's like, it's decent. It's one of the heavier steering weights that I've ever felt, and I'm guessing that if you put it in comfort mode.
There you go. So now you're in comfort.
The steering, it feels a little lighter, it does. That should be the case, right?
So this car has adaptive damping, which is an option, and it is definitely an option to go for. Otherwise, you're getting an A5 with a big engine. You know, I believe it's the options that kind of make the RS5 what it is. We're in dynamic mode now. Oh, from the passenger seat, it's a whole nother thing. Wow. Feels like a different car. This thing moves.
It does. I can put my seat forward more so my head doesn't smash back. Downhill. Woo, woo. Wow.
That'll get your adrenaline going.
Oh, it moves. I mean, and basically all the points that we went over previously with Marco driving, I have basically most of the same opinions. I think we need to get up to speed, huh?
All right, stand by.
Another thing with a car like this is depreciation. You know, if you're buying an $80,000 car, you kind of want it to hold some of that value. And the RS5, it definitely is one of those cars that it'll hold its value, you know, pretty well, being that it's a luxury car. You know, luxury cars lose 30%. You know, luxury cars lose so much so quickly, but whenever you step up to the high performance model, they hold on to their price tags.
For something like the paint.
Oh yeah, the paint, definitely.
Yeah, actually getting it out on the road now, it just feels like it has the grip. I feel so comfortable in the car. It just feels like it'll take any turn, any speed, any time, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well that is our complete review.
Yep.
With the 2018 Audi RS5.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and watch all of our other videos. We're going to be posting as much as we possibly can, so stay tuned. Make sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe.
And check out our Instagram for some buttes. We're going to be posting a ton of stuff on this.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.